All right, beginning of week 2. Finally got some spring weather this afternoon. Woke up this morning, it's 26. I was wondering what it would be like today, but it's a nice day out there. I thought Saturday was really, really good after looking at the film. And I tell you, when we put them in situations where where it's live and there's something on it and, they're competing, we're finding out so much about each other because you can't simulate that. And I think that's a big thing for us right now is getting as many reps as possible, with both sides of the ball so we can, get everybody playing more comfortable together, figure out what pieces go where. But so many positives, obviously tons of stuff to improve on. And the big thing we talked about this week is just being consistent, being consistent with our performance, having a great day, not just a great play. And so I thought we went out there and we did some good stuff. We finished the day with a live first and goal from the 7 drill for all 3 units. And so you put it down that close to the goal line, the temperature gets pretty hot. And so it was highly competitive out there. So really good. Look forward to being back out on the grass later on this week, and then really looking forward to Saturday with our first live scrimmage.
Coach, when you talk about that consistency as you move into week 2, week 3, is that kind of what separates maybe the first, second, third stringers? You just try and make up a depth chart, like who's the most consistent day in, day out?
Right. Well, I think the most consistent guys obviously are the ones that have played. We talked about it on Saturday. Those defensive linemen have played a lot of snaps here. And so, they're not making mental errors. They're executing very well. They're fundamentally sound. They play with a tremendous amount of intensity and edge. So you look at a group like that, they're being very, very consistent. I think Marlon Gunn has had a good start to the spring. Really, really pleased with him. Kerry King, I thought, had a really good first week. I challenged him today. Don't go out there and crap the bed, because you had a good first week. Defensively, I think Devin King had a really good first week. Siobhan had a really good first week. Guys like Tegan and Julius, you expect them to go out there and look like starters because they've started so many games for us. But, really excited to see some of those younger guys, looking more and more like guys that are ready to play.
So many of the transfers y'all brought in, especially defensively, probably still trying to find their way a little bit, but have any of those guys, kept it or caught your attention thus far?
Yeah. Dean Ash, my question on him was, would he hit you? He showed us Saturday, he'll hit you. And so, because he's a long, rangy, athletic guy, certainly he can cover a lot of ground back there. So it was good to see. Now, the challenge for him is just, stacking days together, really, getting really sound with the scheme and assignment sound. I thought Ra really came on late in the week last week. So he and Kingston are battling it out there at the Sam position. I think you'll see a couple of those linebackers continue to improve as they get a better feel for the scheme. And it's because you get a new scheme and it's fast in there in the box. I think those guys. I thought Gerald was very solid Saturday, transfer running back. And I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to help us. So I think we've got several of the new guys that are contributing already.
They seem to be handling install pretty well. Only a few days in the practice, but with the new scheme, is it?
Well, I think the guys that have played a lot, they're handling it better than the ones that's new to them. So some of the guys that just got here, or some of the freshmen, they're struggling because you put in a lot so fast in the spring. So by the end of the week, we'll have most of our complete package on both sides of the ball in. So I think it's just like what we talked about with consistency. The guys that have played are handling it better than the young ones.
Along with the competition, there seems to be a camaraderie component that the guys enjoy competing against each other. The fun is still there, I guess. Like you really saw that on Saturday, the guys' first time out. Is that something that you feel like is just ingrained in the program at this point, as far as like just the competition goes?
Well, I think we have high character young men in our program. I know that they're very enjoyable to coach. The position coaches talk about just how enjoyable this group has been so far this spring. So I think it is. I think we have a strong bond in our locker room, and I think those kids, our leadership council is kind of small because it's just kind of the guys that have returned from last year, but they've been very vocal about what they want in our locker room as far as leadership and as far as things they want, things they don't want. And I think I think they're talking a lot in there about protecting our culture.
Do you almost feel like you're handing over the keys to a new driver, like when you've got those new faces in the leadership room this year?
Well, I think I think you had some guys that have been in the program. I mean, they were in the program when I got here. That class graduated, and so now you have a little bit of a changing of the guard. I mean, it's no more reflective than the quarterback room. Holton Ahlers started every game but one during my first 4 years, and so now he's preparing for his next steps in life, and hopefully continue to still play football. And so now you have a new leader in that offensive huddle, and Mason is a part of our leadership council, and he's really doing a good job. But it's new, it's different. It's a new role for him.
Julius talked to us on Saturday about making sure they welcome in the transfers and kind of really embracing them. How much do you guys as staff kind of sit down with those older players returning? I don't know what the right words, but to try to get them to embrace those guys, or does it happen naturally, so to speak?
I think there's a combination of embracing and also making them earn their way. I think it's important too. Everybody's got a fair shot. I mean, like we talked about last week. Nobody can sit here and say that they're not getting a chance. But I think they embrace the new players in the program, the transfers. They welcome them into the room. They welcome them into the locker room. But at the same time, now they do expect them to adjust to our standards for the way we work, the way we compete, the way we conduct ourselves. So it's not like they just get a free pass. They got to come in here and they have to assimilate to our culture. And I think that the kids are doing a good job with that. But I do think that the way our guys welcome them in does help them understand that we're going to do things a certain way, and it doesn't really matter how you did it, where you came from.
So Javis Bond, he's made a few big plays early in spring camp. What have you seen from him?
Well, he got rocked the last play of the competition out there. I'll tell you, he's going to be a really good player for us. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's got the it factor, and he's got some dog in him, and he doesn't back down from anything. But he learned a valuable lesson today. He tried to bounce a zone play on the goal line and got the snot knocked out of him. So it's some of the things that you can do in high school, you can't do at this level. So I think he is a guy that's going to get better every time he goes out there. No different than Raheem Jeter. I thought Raheem looked much better today than he looked last week. Every day he's going to get more reps. He's going to get more comfortable. Those two kids right there, they have a bright future here at East Carolina.